I'd like to reconvene the open session of the Washington Unified School District Regular Board of Education meeting for April 28, 2016. If we can have Daniel with CSEA, can you lead us with a Pledge of Allegiance, please? Announcements of action taken in closed session. We did not finish our closed session. We did go over Government Code Section 54957.6, conference with labor negotiator, WTA, CSEA, and management. Information was received. Government Code Section 54957, public employee discipline dismissal release. Information was received, and we will be reconvening back into closed session at the end of the meeting because we have lots of you here and we'd like you to get some rest for tomorrow. We have approval of the agenda. Superintendent Luna.
Thank you, President Cruz. This evening, the staff recommends changes to the agenda. Item number 0.1, information discussion item regarding ATI architects and engineers, to be tabled to the next meeting. Item under consent agenda Q.12, which is the approval of ATI architects, to be tabled to the next meeting. Item Q14, approval of MOU with quality rating and improvement systems, to be tabled to the next meeting. And item Q18, to receive a report regarding the adoption of instructional materials of Spanish language arts, to be moved under information discussion items and become 0.4.
Is there any other modification to the agenda? With those modifications, so I have approval of the agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Communications and celebrations. J1, recognition of River City High School robotics students chosen as Marvel Studios Summer Engineering Internship Contest winner Renee Collins, Director of Orstan.
Good evening. Thank you. I wanted to call up Mr. DuBarry Fagu. He has been an outstanding teacher at River City High School for many years. Many of you have enjoyed coming to River City High School and watching the students do wonderful things in the robotics program and engineering program. And so I want to bring up this talented teacher from River City High School to introduce his also marvelous student.
Good evening, and thanks for inviting us here. I'd like to begin by first presenting the official Marvel's Studio Disney press release video that will give a lot more detail and explanation, and then we'll encourage Maya Dua to bring and do a brief demonstration afterwards.
Hi, I'm Emily Van Camp, and I play Sharon Carter, Agent 13 in Captain America Civil War. And I'm Elizabeth Olsen, and I play Wanda Maximoff, Scarlet Witch. Marvel, the National Academy of Sciences, Dolby Laboratories, Broadcom, and Synchrony Bank are challenging girls nationwide to develop innovative STEM-based projects. I'm really excited for these exceptional young women who have STEM backgrounds and who maybe want to be part of a creative and science-based world, and Marvel's the perfect place for that. A huge congratulations to the 5 finalists.
I'm Holly Reaping. I am from Colorado Springs, Colorado, and I am in the 11th grade.
My name is Janie Kim. I'm from San Diego, California, and I'm currently a junior.
My name is Maya Dua. I'm from West Sacramento, California, and I am in grade 10.
My name is Vivian. I am from Marlborough, New Jersey, and I am in 12th grade.
My name is Margaret Fleck. I am in 11th grade and I am from Emmaus, Pennsylvania.
Presenting was fun, but a little bit nerve-wracking. I built a hybrid solar thermal collector that can greatly reduce the amount of energy that we put into space heating and water heating.
I wanted to do something involving my skill set, and my skill set is computers. My project is a network of inexpensive mobile computers that are all run on renewable energy.
As you can see, I have 3 ultrasonic sensors in the front. If ultrasonic senses something, it beeps. My project is a seeing eye bot, and it was built and designed to replace the average guide dog that's used by the visually impaired. My project is developing a low-cost method of disinfecting hospital rooms.
Every time a sound increases by 3 decibels, the recommended listening time is cut in half. I created a computer program that controls your headphone volume level so that you don't damage your hearing.
It was so inspiring to see these girls. They are driven by some of the world's biggest problems. It gives you great hope for the future.
So today we're going to go on a studio tour.
Disney Studios, place where the magic happens.
I've loved Disney for a long time, and being able to see all the history was incredible. We are about to go into Dolby Laboratories, and I'm very excited. They showed us their new technology. It's so cool. We also played around with VR headsets, and I'd never done that before. All of a sudden, I was on a mountaintop. It felt like you could reach out and you were in the snow.
My primary job is to do subjective experiments.
These are our laser banks.
You'll be able to see precision of placement of sound in the room.
Wide color gamut, achievable by the lasers from our projector.
I learned how all these great women in STEM use what they learn in school and throughout life to make their careers awesome.
Meeting the other 4 girls was actually really awesome because they are all such nice people.
They're all great. It's so nice for all of us to be together with the same interests.
We've become really great friends, actually.
Tonight, the finalists have an opportunity to meet with female executives who utilize science, technology, engineering, and math throughout the Walt Disney Company and Marvel. It was really amazing that all of these female executives had an opportunity to share their advice, share their experiences, and really open themselves up to answer different questions from the finalists.
Every time you turn around, the technology changes.
I have never been around so many accomplished women at one time. I got to meet so many incredible women who are so passionate about their careers, about STEM. That was the coolest thing that ever happened to me. I don't think I would have ever had the opportunity to meet these women.
We are at the world premiere of Captain America Civil War.
Girls are forming the future!
We got here because of science.
All of my junior engineers, nerd power! Nerd power! Yes! Hi! Have you ever seen anything quite like this before?
Paul Rudd. It was Paul Rudd.
I am so excited to meet you, ladies.
How was it?
Congratulations on winning Excelsior. I'm Anthony, this is Joe Russo. He directed the movie. Yes, welcome. Congratulations to you guys. It's pretty amazing.
Enjoy tonight.
Oh my gosh, congratulations. As I've said before, we'll all be working for you someday.
There are so many resources available. Get online, see what's out there, and you take advantage of the mentors that are available to you. Try a lot of different things. Take different courses, try internships.
You have to follow your passions. There's such a need for women in technology, young women.
They have the ability, they have the foresight, they have the intelligence. They can be whatever they want to be.
Congratulations, girls.
Thank you. Very proud of you. You're the future, you know that, right?
Hi, my name is Victoria Alonso, executive producer of Captain America Civil War. We were delighted to have 5 incredibly intelligent women come to LA and be a part of our contest. We want to say thank you to all of them and announce our winner. Our winner is Maya Dua. There's so many amazing girls this weekend. I couldn't ask for a better experience to share with them. These girls can really change the world.
There is nothing better than seeing young women who are excited about science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But when they're inspired by storytelling like the Marvel movies, that's the best combination that I can think of.
I would like to thank Marvel and Disney for allowing us to show our love for STEM on such a big scale. Thank you so much.
If I had one piece of advice that I could give you for the future, do not let them tell you who you are. Just keep on at it. It will happen.
Do I turn this way? Okay. First, I would like to start off by thanking Mr. Fagu and the robotics program, because without him, I wouldn't be here standing today with these accomplishments. Though when I found out about this competition, it was during spring break, and I asked him if he could open up the classroom for me, and he was gracious enough to do so. And here I am. I never thought that this small idea would come this far, so I want to thank him and all of you guys for supporting me. Forward by pressing the button, sideways, or backwards. On the bottom, I have 3 ultrasonic sensors, and the ultrasonic sensors use echolocating devices to sense if an object is in front of it. For example, if my foot is in front of it, it will start beeping. It won't move. So if somebody's visually impaired and they use this instead of a guide dog, which costs $50,000, this only costs around $600, they can sense where they're going and know when to stop.
Wow.
Maya, we'd like to thank you for representing West Sacramento and your wonderful teacher.
Thank you.
And we're just so excited for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Continue on with our celebrations. We have River City High School Rugby Club, Catherine Foreman, the coach.
I'm not Catherine Foreman, but your applause is well warranted for her. I don't know if many of you have gotten a chance to watch rugby.
No, come forward.
It's not exactly, maybe it's gaining a lot of popularity. I'm told it's the most popular sport in America right now in terms of how many people are starting to play it, and fastest growing, I guess I should say. I have not had a lot of exposure to rugby, but I went out one afternoon as we went to play, I believe it was Kennedy High School. And I also watched them when they played Christian Brothers High School at River City High School. This is a new sport for us. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. The kids were just awesome, and the coach was pretty cool in action too. And so that was really great to see Miss Foreman in another way. So she's brought this to our school. We thank her for that, and I'd like to honor her by giving her a certificate. So come on up, Miss Foreman. And now she's going to bring up some of her outstanding athletes to come up and show them off, too.
Sure.
First of all, just thank you for having us tonight. It's an unbelievable honor to be standing here with everyone. And I think it's most important to know that the program was started by a graduated senior. We had a kid last year. He literally walked into my room and he was like, hey, so like I want to start this club. So if you could just sign some paperwork, that'd be great. I'll handle it. Don't worry. It's totally fine. You won't really have to do much. And then I signed my life away. And here we are 2 years later. And we ended up this year in the Division II Shield Championships. We took second place. And I'm telling you, these guys, they gave everything they had this year. And it was really wonderful to watch. And keep watching, because next year we're starting a girls' team as well. So we'll have both sides running at the high school. So I do have a couple of guys here tonight. If I could get Mr. Isaac Pena to come up, please. He played forward, he played back, he played all around the field, and for that, we thank you very much, sir, for taking the realm. And then I have a Mr. Trayvon Martin. Trayvon's also a wrestler. He showed up like more than halfway through the season, and he was like, wrestling's over, I want to play rugby. And we welcome him, and I'm telling you, he filled a space at fullback that we really needed, so thank you very much. Congratulations. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Great job. And continue on with celebrations. We have a recognition of the outstanding students graduating from the Fire Youth Academy. Linda Luna, Superintendent.
Board of Trustees on Sunday, this past Sunday, the West Sacramento Fire Department sponsored a celebration for our students. We had a group of students who went through a cadet program with the West Sacramento Fire Department. And in this picture, you will see a picture of the entire team with the firefighters. There you go. Oh, I have a clicker. Thank you. And so we wanted to give a shout out tonight because it's a strong, strong collaboration with our fire department and our school district, honoring our students and preparing them truly to either go to college under public service, or should they choose after their high school graduation to continue in community college, they can also apply to be a firefighter. One of the things that I was very impressed with at the graduation is that there was one particular student, they had to take a rigorous test, and so our students were going to go to their campus and give them an academic excellence award, because it wasn't just about the physical labor of it. It was about, they had to do some pretty intensive work in reading and comprehension, memorization, codes, all of that. And I was impressed when they announced that one student marked so high on his exam that he could actually pass now to be a firefighter. So with that, I just wanted to give a shout out and a sincere thanks to our Fire Chief Battalion, John Heilman, and he's here this evening so that we can honor him.
Good evening. I just want to say thank you very much for your support. You know, these programs don't happen without your support, the support of the superintendent and all the teachers. We're currently recruiting for our next academy. Jennifer Almaguer, firefighter Almaguer, was our lead in the academy. She did a fantastic job. Men, women, boys, girls, we are open to everybody. So we'd like to get a nice diverse class, and hopefully one day a firefighter can say, I got my start in the West Sacramento Youth Fire Academy. So thank you very much.
Thank you. That's everything was exciting. I'm glad to have these meetings. I mean, we're going to continue to see this every meeting. We're here to celebrate our students, and they're going to come and report to us what they do, since we can't get out on all the campuses and the district. So it's exciting that they're bringing it to us. Thank all of you. We have, going along with the theme, we have our student board member report.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight I have a brief report from River City High School. A huge thank you goes out to all of the members of the community who came out to support all of the clubs, sports, and students at River City during Tuesday's spring showcase. Seeing board members and our district superintendent at an event that so many students contributed to and put together means so much. Tonight, the top 10 students from the senior class are being honored at a dinner put on by River City leadership. This dinner will feature a slideshow that recognizes the students' hard work and effort over their last 4 years at River City. Also tonight, girls soccer will be playing Rio Linda at home. This is their last home game of the season and their senior night, where all of the senior soccer players on the team will be recognized for their hard work during this past season. Next Tuesday, the team will be playing River Valley, where they are competing for first place in league. On May 12th and 13th, starting at 6:30, River City will be having its Springs 2016 Dance Showcase, directed by Constance Adams, and admission is $6 for adults and $5 for students. That's all I have for now, but thank you.
Thank you so much. WTA report, Mr. Stauffer.
Hello again. First, I'd like to congratulate Maya again and let her know I'm extremely jealous of her being able to get her photograph taken with Robert Downey Jr. And just want to encourage her to go home and study for the chemistry exam she's having in the morning. Any case, want to just talk about bargaining a little bit more. Just want to say that in the course of our 2 meetings that we had early last fall, we were able to agree on new language and reach tentative agreements on 5 articles. Yet in our 4 meetings that we've had since February, not one item and not one word of contract language has been agreed upon. We've basically come to a dead standstill. And WTA feels like it's essentially been bargaining with itself. And again, repeat that our bargaining team has been there, has sat and waited sometimes 3 hours, 5 hours, while WSD caucuses and nothing comes back. Again, we are ready to move on. We want to get this thing settled. And to reiterate, this year, Washington Unified received the largest increase in revenue in history, and our faculty deserve a fair share of this. And to attract the best, we need to be competitive with our neighboring districts. And surrounding districts at this time are settling, and we're still not. So I'd want to move on. On another note, this November, it looks like there's going to be an initiative on the ballot that, if adopted, will overturn parts of Proposition 227. This was the bill that was enacted in the 90s encouraged by Pete Wilson, the then governor, which essentially outlawed or made very difficult bilingual education. And the parts of this, of 227 that would be overturned would encourage parents and allow parents to have their children taught in English as well as another language. And it would seem to be a very supportive measure that would go hand in hand with the dual immersion classes that Washington Unified is pursuing. So I think it's a worthwhile proposition. It's definitely a proposition that's friendly to our immigrants. And I would encourage the district to make a resolution in support of this. I believe most of us have recovered from the Good Teaching Conference in San Jose a couple of weeks ago. It was a wonderful, if demanding, weekend. And from what I've heard, our teachers got a lot out of it and found it very valuable. And again, thank you to the district for helping co-sponsor that with us. The Day of the Teacher, and thank you, district, for a resolution in support of this, will be coming up in a couple of weeks. WTA is going to be inviting some visitors to come visit the district on that day. Included will be the chair of the board of CalSTRS and perhaps the CEO of CalSTRS. So we hope to be making the rounds of the district. And if one or more district people or board member wants to join us, we highly encourage that. We hope to make that a great day. Thank you very much.
Thank you. CSCA, Mr. Roberts.
Good evening, Madam President and board members. First of all, I'd like to pay recognition to one of CSE's employees, member, Karen Freeland. She is being honored on the 29th of May at Raley's Field for all her dedication throughout the years in the union. Second, I'd like to thank the Human Resource Department for working together with us to create some more classified jobs here at Washington Unified. And finally, I would like to inform you that we have Classified Week, May 18th the week of May 15th to the 20th, and we'd like to invite the whole board to come to our pizza party that we're having in recognition of all the employees during that time. I thank you,
Thank
and have
you.
a good evening.
Thank you. We have a few public comments this evening. I'm going to read our standard disclaimer here before we get started. Public comments at this time. Members of the public may address the board on topics that are under the jurisdiction of the board and are not on the agenda, although the board by law may not take action at this meeting. Education Code 3514535. The board may limit the total time for public input on any topic to 20 minutes unless it chooses to waive the item limit for a particular item. Individual speakers may be limited to 3 minutes to comment on any topic. Public comments consisting of individual charges, complaints, or derogatory remarks about any district employee are requested to be submitted in writing to the administration in accordance with the district complaint procedure. And with that, we have Charlotte Dorsey.
Good evening, board members, friends. I'm so impressed by this STEM presentation. I just can't believe it. But I'm on the Measure V Citizens Oversight Committee. We've been getting updates from Kevin Sanders at our meetings, and the last time we had a very informative slideshow that brought us up to date on everything that had been happening in the district. However, there was an item on tonight's agenda which I believe has been pulled. It's about a proposed new high school. And I'd like to read to you some of the comments that people have given to me to present to you tonight because they were concerned about the lack of information. There was no additional information available about the proposal from any other oversight committee member or persons associated with the school district in various capacities or from parents in the district. The concern that has been raised is this. It does not appear that the building that was on tonight's agenda is the same as the building that was originally communicated to the public and approved through Measure V. The word in the community is that it is half the size of the building on the original plans and not the building that was expected. If that is the case, there has been very little, if any, input from the stakeholders, including the Oversight Committee about the proposed design. If there has been a change in the original approved plan, I don't know if the board has been included in the decision to deviate from the different plan or if there has been citizen input. Members of our community that have spoken to me believe that an opportunity to hear and comment by the stakeholders would be appropriate. Perhaps you can clarify this information. Thank you.
Thank you. Alan France.
Hi. Thank you for letting me talk today. My name is Alan Franz. I'm the math department chair at River City High School. I wasn't planning on talking at first, but I had a few thoughts I wanted to say. This is really embarrassing to me that we're back here again. We were just here last year at the same point with the contract negotiations. And it always seems like this district, we're trying to catch up with everyone else. We'll get a little bit of a raise in pay, and then the districts that were already ahead of us, they get a bump up too, and we're always trying to catch up, and we never seem to get there. If you actually look at our salary schedule, the first year pay is actually comparable. But for those that stick around for a handful of years, it gets to be about $10,000 difference between neighboring districts in the Sacramento region. And as the math department chair, it's getting hard to hire and keep good teachers. We had an interview with a candidate earlier this year who signed the papers, was good to go, we loved him. A week later, he found something better somewhere else. It's just getting to be difficult to get good teachers to want to come here and to stay here. Again, it's just embarrassing. Our negotiators were always prepared to come here, and from what I hear, they were left sitting for hours upon hours hearing nothing back from WSD's negotiators. And all in all, it's just embarrassing to me that we're at this point. So, thank you.
Thank you. Maria Grijalva, sorry.
See, this was made for me. Good evening. We're here today because for one thing, is I wish we could brag one day that we have the highest paid teachers in West Sacramento. Yes. That would be nice. We came to share with you about the gang injunction and how it's impacting the children, the students directly. This is Regina and Tara and Kathy, and they formed a nonprofit. Broderick is a community, not a gang. And the purpose is to actually get rid of the gang injunction. We found out that because of the gang injunction, anytime any of the boys get arrested, they automatically get extra charges. And so one specific example is her son. He was facing 2 years for that Woodland boys and Esparto boys and the other boys would face, but because he came from Broderick, he got automatically 10 years on top of that. And I don't think people are aware of that, how that impacts us so directly. So this is one example. Kathy's, Tara's, and Regina's sons are in juvenile hall. They've been sitting there a year. They actually grew about 3 inches since they've been there. It's actually sad to see. They are facing horrendous charges, 2 life sentences, a $2.5 million bail, and there's no violence involved here. And this is all because of the ability to use the gang enhancement because of the gang injunction. And everyone here knows that we don't have an organized gang in West Sacramento, but there's a lot of revenue that's being generated because of that. And so I found out, I did a lot of research, I found out that it's not the DA, it's not West Sac PD, it's our city council that can turn off that gang injunction with one signature, one resolution that they would pass. And that is our goal, is to get our mayor to do a symbolic resolution, even though it's a court order, but to say stop enforcing this gang injunction. And I would like to ask for you folks to also pass some type of a resolution or recognition or something that says the gang injunction is not good for our children, because it simply is not. We have many multi-generations that are in prison, and you know, when boys are being juveniles and they're acting bad, okay, they go to jail, but they shouldn't have to go to prison for life. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Regina Martinez, did you have anything to add? Okay, thank you. We're to board and superintendent comments. Board Member Villegas.
I'd just like to mention 2 things that happened over the last 2 weeks. The Yolo County Children's Alliance held our annual Project Prevention fashion show to prevent child abuse. And we had about 10 kids from River City, at least 10 kids. And board members Kirby Gonzalez and Kobe Pizzotti were there as well. And the culinary kids did a fabulous job at catering and helping with the food. And I'd like to thank everybody that if you want to see the models and the pictures, they're on our Children's Alliance Facebook page, and they were stunning, literally stunning. And then I had a great time at the River Cats night with the school district, and thanks for having that too. That's it.
Thank you. Board Member Alcala.
Thank you. The 3 things I would like to announce. Superintendent of California Schools, Tom Torlickson's Invest in California Schools luncheon was today. I attended. And This is actually a bond measure which will be appearing in November's ballot, which authorizes $9 billion in general obligation bonds, $3 billion for new construction, $3 billion for modernization of K-12 public school facilities, $1 billion for charter and vocational facilities, and $2 billion for California community college facilities. There's also included in there a $5 million in the technology. It's a career technology component. So what I'm hoping we can do is pass a resolution in support of this. And I also want to mention that on May 2nd, we have the Yolo County School Board Association's Excellence in Education Awards. And we have people in our district who are being honored. I just wanted to mention their names. For elementary, Juliet Patrick. Secondary, Tony Marvelli. Alternative education, Pat Nguyen. And student services, Graciela Garcia, as well as, let me get this out here, Washington Unified School District's Grace Chin, principal at Bridgeway Elementary, and the innovative educators, of course, Kim Harrison and Melissa Oliver. So congratulations. I will also be attending the Community Advisory Committee for the Yolo County SELPA, and we are also having people recognized there. Nancy Erickson, Resource Specialist from Washington Unified School District, and Jacob Givette, Education Specialist, Special Education Chair, on May 9th, 6 to 7 p.m. That's going to be at the Yolo County Office of Education, and that's going to be from 6 to 7. And I would also like to support a resolution on Prop 227. I think that's really important, that the overturning in language, especially as Mr. Stauffer mentioned, dual immersion is very important. You know, in our schools, we're going to be having that program in August implemented over in Elkhorn. So I think it's important that we also have a resolution in support of this. And I do support doing away with the gang injunction. It affects our kids here in West Sacramento. You know, it's unfair for our kids to have enhancements when the rest of Yolo County doesn't. And I know it's only in very specific areas here in West Sacramento that the injunction applies, and those are usually our more economically disadvantaged areas. So I think it's really important as a school board, because it affects our students, that we also support doing away with the gang injunction. And I believe that's all. Thank you.
Board Member Kirby Gonzalez.
All right, thank you. I know some of you would prefer to be somewhere else, but when you're here, there's a lot of clapping, which is kind of nice for us to be cheering for people. There's been a lot of good things to cheer for tonight with our robotics and our rugby and the Fire Academy. And thank you for our speakers who came out as well, and for everybody sharing. I too enjoyed the appreciation event, and it's nice to be able to recognize folks just in a different way, on a bigger scale in terms of the community getting out and throwing out that first pitch. And so I hope that next year we can work on all sitting in the same spot, because when we're there, we don't always get to see everyone. But it was a nice evening. And I was fortunate to be able to attend one of the days of the strategic planning that happened. I'm sure that Board President Cruz will speak about that. I attended the last day, and after a lot of the hard work had been done, and I came thinking, what could I offer and bring? And I looked at what the group had done, and it just blew me away. It was so good. It just gave me goosebumps, and it's a huge responsibility, because there were great things that were discussed that day about where we're going as a district, and now we need to make sure that we do that and that we honor those conversations and what happened with the group that came together. I'm really excited to hear more of an update on that. I also attended our a little bit of the technology committee meeting. And one piece that I liked about that is they were talking about doing a showcase so that we as the board could also see some of the things that the kids are doing in technology. The kids can come out. They're so impressive, the things that are happening in this district. And we don't always know what's happening. We put a lot of money and a lot of support in technology. And so we want to make sure those conversations happen. And what was great about this meeting is they were talking a lot about their timeline. Can they get families out? Can they get the students out? And they said, who are the teachers that are committed? And of course, this is on their own time later in the evening, and every single one without even batting an eye said, absolutely, of course, I will be there. And so just thank you for your dedication, and it was just a really nice energy and to be there. I also have something here about a living schoolyards for storm management. This was passed along to me, so maybe I will give this to you, Linda. And there's been a lot of work in our district with gardens throughout the district. And so this is a free workshop that was passed on to me. It's May 18th, and it's in Sacramento from 10 to 12, and living schoolyards for storm water management. And it talks a lot about resources and opportunities. And so I'll also pass this on to some of the folks I know who are doing the garden programs in Washington Unified as well. And I'm looking forward to the CSEA job shadowing. I didn't sign up for the pizza party. Last time I was moving bark, so I don't know, maybe I need to change what I'm signing up for, but I appreciate that. It's a really good opportunity to step in to someone else's shoes that we don't always see. And I've walked away in the past with just a huge new understanding and respect for the work that classified staff is doing. And something maybe to think about as well for our teacher staff as well, offering people to come step inside and do a shadow, because I did that with one of our VAPA teachers, and I think she was running the entire time. And so there's a lot that you all do that sometimes we don't see behind the scenes. So thank you.
Thank you. First of all, I just want to say we have fabulous students. Can we just give them a hand? I mean, that's all that everybody in this room we have in common, is to give our community, our kids, the best education we can. And it just gets exciting every meeting I come to, just to see what we have given these kids and what opportunities and programs they have. So I'm just excited about that. I also know as the year winds down, we all get a little stressed and we all have full plates. So I want to take this time to thank all the staff at Washington Unified, just for their services and for keeping our kids safe on campus and just giving them that great education that we so want. I also, as we all know, Washington Unified is going through a great transition right now. We're very, very busy, and we're all pulling together. It's not just a board's decision. We did have critical thinking, we did have strategic planning, and it's been very exciting in the last couple of weeks in Washington Unified. Over the last year, we've had the privilege and the grateful experience to have the superintendent, Luna, sending us in the right direction. It's going 100 miles an hour, but we're going the right direction. One thing that I am very proud of, and I want everybody to know, that the communication is getting better. I know we still lack it, but it is getting better. I will tell you, there is not anything, any one of us board members, anytime something positive happens, anytime something not so positive happens, the superintendent is letting us know. So we are well informed of what's going on, and that is a big change in this district. Communication, that's what we're talking about, and working together. Not one of us can do it. The old saying is, it takes a village, and we are coming together as a village, as a community, and giving our students the best education they can get. So it's great to see you all come out and just support not only the board, the superintendent, but our students. I really want to thank everybody that has participated in the critical thinking and strategic planning. We went over our first Saturday, we spent, board member Pizzati and I, and a lot of staff, about 25 teachers, parents, CSA members, just thinking about how are we going to create our mission statement? How are we going to create our objectives? We also had 2 students that were very valuable to the process. It was emotional some days. Some people cried. Some people laughed. We had a few superheroes in the room. We won't say any names. But it was an overall very good experience. And just in the past, the board we spent a Saturday with administration trying to figure out what the community wants, what the teachers want, what our students want. So it was so great to take this in another direction, and instead of us trying to figure it out, everybody in the room telling us this is what we want in our community. And it was a very good experience. We did come up with some great objectives. We did come up with a mission statement, which I might add, we haven't had one for a long time. So we're finally bringing everything forward. We are going 100 miles an hour, and it's so great to be working with the staff, the teachers, the principals, everybody. And I just want to thank you, because we are taking time out of our busy lives to do this for our kids and our students. I attended the River City Showcase, and that is another great program. If you ever get a chance to go out there, all the programs the kids show us, the culinary class was out there serving up sliders if you answered a question. All the sporting programs. That night we also had soccer. We also had boys baseball, and Mr. Pizzotti, I have to, on his behalf, give a shout out to Robert's son, Austin, because he threw a no-hitter, 6-0, I guess. And so he wanted me to give that shout out. We also had River City music performance. I believe it was last night. We had open houses. And the end of the year, there's just so much going on. And we as a board try to show up at all the events. You're never gonna, it's gonna be a rare occasion you're gonna see all of us there. But this is what we do. We come back and report to what we've done. And having you all come up here and tell us what's going on in the campuses and our city is just a great help. And I'm just so excited. I can talk all night, but I know we have other things to do.
Can I say something real quick?
And my last thing, I know this is probably not appropriate, but I'm going to say it anyway. I do want to give a shout out to Roseville Schools, because they stole my program. But this morning, if you saw on the news, they established a finance class for their juniors at their high school, and they made it a requirement for them to graduate. They have to be able to balance a checkbook. They have to get some skills on saving for the future. And I continuously tell our district, this is what we need for our students. So many of them graduate and they're lost with the simple things of how to open a bank account. So when I saw that on the news, I was excited for Roseville, but sad for us because they stole my idea. So, but hopefully soon that we'll look at that. And I think Board Member Alcala had one last thing here.
I want to clarify what I said on Prop 227. We want to overturn the language there. You know, I didn't clarify myself, so I don't want you to think I'm in support of 227. Never was. So thank you, Mr. Stauffer, for bringing that up.
That we have superintendent comments.
Wow, how about that? The first time in my life I get to actually bring something up. Thank you, President Cruz, Board of Trustees, and guests. This evening, I just want to give a lot of celebrations because there are a lot of great things happening, but there are a lot of things coming to close because we are about 4 weeks shy of closing another school year. And a lot of times, we really think back of where did the time go? Because there's so much left to do with our current kids. We have those last things we want to make sure that they know so that they're prepared to move on to the next grade. So there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of excitement, and so we would just want to quickly go through, there's some open houses that I wanted to talk about here. So last evening, Westfield had their open house, and there you see a picture. There were so many people over at Westfield. There was no parking, and that was, of course, it was the time that it was storming, right, and all the rain was coming down. But I tell you, it didn't stop Westfield. Cars parked all over around the block and in the neighborhood. Parents flooded that school. And just there's a picture right there of the parents who were feeding people while they were coming in so they could be comfortable. And it was a very, very nice family atmosphere. A couple of classrooms I went into for kindergarten. That would be a nice kindergarten classroom to visit if you visit Westfield, because the teacher has just created a very, it's just an applicable kind of a setting where the kids could truly feel that they're under the sea as they study about the ocean, about plant life, about the animals of the sea. And it's just a really great environment, and that's what learning really is about. Also went into a 5th grade class, and I took a picture of this because I used to teach 5th grade, and it was so nice to see something different than during my time of teaching 5th grade, which was many years ago, how we used to have page after page of handwritten and coloring and trying to draw and color the flag, et cetera. But now we have technology, and this particular classroom was an innovative educator classroom, and they were using their technology to build their reports. So it was a really nice change. Also went over, I think this is still at Westfield, ran into a 1st grade teacher, and the reason why I took this picture is because you notice in her hand, she has 2 cups there, and they're the same seeds, but you see how different they are. And the 1st grades were just going through a learning experience of growing their seeds and how plant life works, but you see in the her left hand, that the plant has sprouted quite a bit, but yet it was in the dark closet. And it sprouted higher than those receiving sun. And so the kids were able to talk about that. The kids were able to talk about why did it change colors. Great, great learning happening at Westfield School. Also went to Westmore Oaks. Last night they had their open house, and this must be the science time about plant life and animal life. So 5th grade class building 3-dimensional cells, and so nice things that the kids are really learning. Outside of their textbooks, just talking a lot, students showing their parents what they were learning, which was really, really great. I missed the band concert, but there was a 45-minute band concert early on in the evening. They had some other sports going on in the gym. It was a busy, busy campus. So congratulations to Westmore Oaks. I also attended the River City Showcase, and it was my first time actually seeing a high school actually do this kind of a showcase. And it was pretty amazing, and I walked into the right playroom because I ended up into the building where the robotics class, displays were, and I ended up spending most of my time there because it was really a lot of fun. The kids were showing me their robotic arms there and showing me how they're using that to, if they're unable to use their other arm, how they would be able to use that even just by touching. You don't have to use another hand to maneuver it. In this particular one, which was my favorite because I won this race, I was racing with another student, and it was just really exemplary how kids are creating these projects to enhance life in some manner. And I had a really difficult time actually on this one, where one of the students there, you see him on the right picture there, he's bending down trying to help me to succeed at this particular project. But it's pretty amazing. I think if you're a gamer, you would do really well. And I don't play video games, so I was quite challenged. The teacher shared with me that the picture on the left, robotic soccer, is the most popular. And he also explained to me that the pieces of the soccer field there, many of the parts were created through the 3D printer they have in the class. And then they put other pieces and components together to make it work. The picture on the right is a drone, and they actually did use it. It's pretty clear on there. It makes it very clear it is the property of the United States Air Force. And so they were talking about what they have used it for. They actually tried to use it at River City in one of the events to show some really large-scale pictures of an event. And then I went to a building of a table called Gross Anatomy. These two young gentlemen were taking great pleasure in their superintendent asking questions, and I think my facial expressions were really, you really like this stuff? And they do. And so they were quite animated talking to me about what they've been doing in class, very hands-on learning, and that's what creates our future medical practitioners. And so I was pretty excited about that. Heard the choir, and actually, they're a very good choir. This is my major. And I'm excited to offer that instead of hiring an accompanist, I can certainly do that for their next concert. So I'm really looking forward to being a part of the kids. Very, very well done. Wanted to give a shout out. We've talked about the Employees of the Year. It was my first time experiencing it at the River Cats game, and it was a great time. And we learned a lot. We want to put everybody together to make it a full community event. But I want to give a real shout out to our employees and thank the staff who wrote on behalf of their colleagues to make this happen and get the choice done. So great shout out there. We are also going to celebrate more staff on Monday evening at the Yolo County Excellence in Education Awards. And so because it is this Monday, I wanted to give a shout out to the following people. Juliet Patrick, Riverbank, is going to be, she's been chosen as the Elementary Teacher of the Year for Washington Unified of our county. Our secondary teacher is Tony Marvelli from River City High School. And actually, Mr. Marvelli had stacks of people writing in on his behalf. Our alternative education goes to Patty Nguyen from Yolo High School. And I've actually shared a little bit about her classroom. She's the English teacher at Yolo High School, and at their open house earlier in the school year, I was completely blown away at the caliber of writing that she's getting out of our Yolo High School students. It's amazing the work that they're doing in English. Our Student Services Excellent in Education Award goes to our social worker, Graciela Garcia. This year, they added 2 new awards to the county, and they have an Administrator of the Year, and that's going to Grace Chin, our principal at Bridgeway Island. The other award that they added in the county is a program award, and the Innovative Educators Program Award, facilitated by Kim Harrison and Melissa Oliver, is our winner for this year. So here's the good news. Now that's Washington Unified. All the other school districts are going to also partake of Monday evening, but here's the other part of the good news. Los Rios Community College is also part of it, and we're actually components of their awards. So from Los Rios Community College School District, they have chosen the Administrator of the Year, which is Noe Guerra, who is our Career Program Specialist at Yolo High School. And he is basically the facilitator between Los Rios Community College and the work that he does at Yolo High School and counseling our students in career development after high school. And he's made a great impact to really make a strong bridge of communication and partnership. And here's our other one. We have a program award specifically with Washington Unified for our Kinders Go to College program. And last year it was Riverbank. This year it is Stonegate Elementary that is going to partake of the Kinders Go to College. So we're Washington Unified, and now we are part of the awards of Los Rios Community College. So it's pretty exciting. Monday evening, it'll be a really exciting time. Speaking about our Kinders Go to College program, I just want to give a heads up to this. We're going to be celebrating our kindergarteners, who I believe it's a class of 2029. And so they are going to begin their journey to college at the West Sacramento Community College campus. We have 80 kindergartners and 80 middle school students who are going as their mentor. And then we also have about 30 high school students who will be the facilitators to ensure all 160 kids get to where they need to be. There's about 15 workshops that all kindergarten students will go through, and I look forward to bringing back to the board some of the exciting memories that the kindergarten students will be receiving as they start their journey to college. I just want to, as my last slide, give a reminder that the board has moved their regularly scheduled board meeting to Wednesday, May 11th, and that will be here at City Hall in order for us to partake as a school district in the State of the City address, which is on Thursday, May 12th. So our next school board meeting will be Wednesday, May 11th here. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So I wanted to do that.
Hey, Jeremy, how are you? Good. Good to see you. Is Tanya here?
I apologize, but we need to continue with our meeting, so if you need to step out, thank you. Thank you all for coming.
All right, you bet.
We are to our public hearing. I'm going to open the public hearing regarding the Sunshine of Washington Unified School District proposal to WTA regarding Article 5, transfer and reassignment procedures, and Article 11, leaves. Michael Reed, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources. I do have a public comment on that. Dawn Stauffer.
Hello again. WTA is confused about how the opening of these two articles fits into negotiations at this time. So is this the intent for the district to have these openers as the start of 16-17 negotiations? Is it intended to be done this year? And we would just like clarification on that.
Mr. Michael Reed, did you have any comment on this? Your name's attached to it.
Sure. So there's current law and education code that our language in our CBA conflicts with. So this is an opportunity for us to sit down and get our language in line with those two items. So in answer to the question, it is not to open 16-17. It's just to open it and have that dialogue and get our contract in line with current law.
Okay, with that, any comments or questions? I'm going to close the public hearing at this time. We are to information items. Item 01, the ATI Architects and Engineering to present architectural design of potential River City additional building. That was tabled at this time. Item 02, the update on the, is it Fiery Ginger Farm, land-based learning urban farm behind Yolo Education Center. Renee Collins.
This is the neatest thing, but it goes up. I had no idea. Okay, thank you for allowing us to be here tonight. About 1 year ago, the district entered into a partnership with the Center for Land-Based Learning and Raley's and our farmers who have started the Fiery Ginger Farm behind YOLO Education. And so our farmers, Hope and Shane, are here this evening to share about the progress of the farm and just to give us a general update just about a year into it. So if Shane and Hope could come on up. Oh, I'm sorry, and Sarah Bernal. Sarah is with Center for Land-Based Learning, and she's here to present as well.
Hey there. Thanks for having us. This is great. We're really excited to be here. So I am the program manager for the West Sacramento Urban Farm Program under the Center for Land-Based Learning. The Center for Land-Based Learning is a nonprofit that's based in Winters that focuses primarily on education, on conservation and environmental conservation, really. And then we also have a lot of adult programming that focuses on fostering the next generation of farmers. And so that program is called the California Farm Academy. It's a 7-month training program where folks kind of get trained on how to operate a small farm business or a large farm business. Shane and Hope are both graduates of the California Farm Academy. The West Sacramento Urban Farm Program started in 2014, May of 2014. We are managing 6.5 acres of land in West Sacramento, 1.5 of which is Fiery Ginger Farm on Yolo High School District property. And I would just really like to thank the principal, Alejandro Ramos, for being such an amazing partner to work with, and Noe Guerra, who is hooking us up with amazing students that come out to the farm every week, and also Renee for just being amazing, and all of the other people who've made this happen, Scott. It's been just a really fantastic experience working with the Washington Unified School District. We've formed a farm advisory committee. We're meeting quarterly to sort of make sure that the farm is meeting needs of the school district, and also that the farmers can update the school district on opportunities that the students can sort of access on that farm. So they have, I created a 2-sided handout that sort of highlights all the accomplishments that have happened since the farm started in August. And you'll see it took 2 pages, and it's only been about 6 months. They've really just nailed it. It's been a really fantastic experience. So I would just, here's Shane and Hope to tell you everything that's happening on the ground.
Good night, or good evening. Thanks for having us here. We have a little presentation. We'll just go through it quickly. That's us. Just real quickly, we come from different backgrounds, but education related. I taught middle school in Stockton for 15 years, and Hope ran school gardens in
Davis, and co-managed a 3-acre school farm in Davis.
There we are. Yeah, there we go. We both attended the California Farm Academy. We both developed interest in farming as a business, and the Farm Academy is a great place to learn that for even high school graduates or students who are in high school could actually participate. So we were kind of, Hope was offered. Do you want to talk about how you got that?
So this is I originally took the class to further the other farm I was working at, but when that didn't work out, this particular piece of property behind Yolo High became available. This is what it looked like in the very beginning when it was weeds. And I was excited about that because it gave me an opportunity to work with students again, which is really what I loved about the farming that I was doing in Davis. So that's what it looked like.
And it's been really nice because we're under no obligation to work with the school, and they're under no obligation to work with us. But it's been great. But it's been an amazing thing, and the location was what attracted us to it to begin with. Whoa. I don't know what happened there. Oh, okay. Yeah, Mr. Ramos, the principal, has been really inviting and open, and Noe Guerra has been really great, as well as some of the teachers, which we'll highlight, that have kind of embraced having their kids out on the farm. So we did start with this it's a big field that was in the back. They cleaved off about 1.5 acres, and we have been turning it slowly into a farm. So we call it the beach because it is about 90% sand, which is, when they dug the canal, this was a fill area. So it is a challenging site. The soil is not the best for farming, but we are working on improving it over time, and that's an interesting lesson for students, I think.
That's in August?
Yeah, we started just in August.
We planted 1/8 of an acre for the winter, and we cover cropped the rest. About 10 rows maybe there.
Yeah, we grew a cover crop on most of it to improve the soil. So a cover crop is plants that you grow with the intent of adding nutrient and organic matter to the soil. So you just till them in at the end, and we did that. We grew a lot through the winter with the help of students, and we've been working with Food for Families. So this site was actually funded by Rayleigh's Food for Families program. They purchase about 25% of what we grow and donate it directly to the Yolo County Food Bank, which is huge. Most of the food that goes into the food banks is processed food, and a lot of folks that are on the receiving end of that are diabetic, and so getting diabetic and other ailments related to health and diet, they're able to get through this program really fresh produce. And it also supports us starting a farm business. Yeah, we're not a non-for-profit. We're definitely for-profit individuals here. But we love all these relationships that we're able to develop, so it's been really great. We have a farm stand. You guys should come out. So right now it's on Thursdays from 10 to 2, and in May, the middle of May, it'll start being on Saturdays from 9 to 1. We have a River City High student who helps us with that some days. We have begun selling produce to Davis Joint Unified School District, and we just set up our first sale to Washington Unified School District. So some of the produce that we're growing is going into the school lunches, which is an important thing we wanted to see happening.
We have 17 chickens on the farm that we put out there as kind of an experiment to just see how they would do out there, and if they would be okay because we're not there every day. So far it's been great. They are kind of working chickens. They help us with soil fertility. The students love them. They come out and care for them we're there Tuesdays and Thursdays. They come out every Tuesday and Thursdays, and they've learned to feed them and collect their eggs and move them. And it's part of the routine now on Tuesdays and Thursdays for the kids that come out. So they're great.
Yeah, this little structure helps concentrate the action of the chickens. We actually want them to eat weeds and pests and leave behind waste in a uniform way so that we can, they earn their keep, so to speak. So we had a great visit from some of the Farm to Fork class students, Jennifer McAllister students from River City High School. They were amazing. We did a bunch of, we went through the whole process. We harvested, washed, packed, delivered, and then replanted another succession of mostly lettuce. They were great. I think they had a good time, and yeah, they're moving the chickens, and we had a good time with them. So they were great. We also work with Susan Blumenstein's. There's mostly 7th and 8th grade opportunity, I think is the term they use for her class. Great bunch of students with lots of challenges that love to come out. I think they get a lot of what's the word? Emotional attachment to our animals. We have a goat out there now, so it's really neat to see them, come out and work with the animals that we have. And here they're planting potatoes. They're great at planting. If we need a 200-foot row planted out, those guys are really efficient at doing that. So it's really cool to see. And they like coming out. So they come out twice a week. And again, Susan's been really supportive of that and of us and just working with the kids. Our philosophy generally is whatever we're doing, we want the kids to do. We don't want to create lessons that are about farming. We want them to do farming. Mm-hmm. So the more they come out, the more they see the cycle of what happens on the farm. Our ultimate goal is to create some kind of vocational component, some kind of vocational class or something that would help develop farming as an opportunity for kids to see, because there's a lot of opportunities in farming. The average age of farmers is 58 years old. They're all aging out and nobody's taking over. So lots of opportunity for students to move into it.
This comedians class, they come out once a week on Thursdays. And they, again, just do whatever it is we're doing. They're a great class. They're really engaged. They've learned a lot. Best part is seeing when they really connect with it and they're like, oh, we've done this. We know how to do this now. We can do this. It's great.
Yeah. And she created a whole unit around Food Inc., the documentary, and it related it. And so that's all been part of their experience learning about where food comes from, which is cool. And she's an English teacher, so she's bringing in all these different things. It's really cool. And there's some more of her students harvesting. They harvested for the food bank, which is kind of neat that they saw where that they were harvesting, washing, packing food that was going to the food bank. That was kind of neat, we thought. There's some more of them doing some washing. Big salad spinner. That's it. So we thank you for allowing us to update you on what's going on over there. We really enjoy working with the students of this district, and Washington, YOLO has been really great to us and very inviting, and we are really looking forward to seeing that relationship expand and develop. So thanks for your time.
Well, don't go away.
Just also want to chime in that the farmers have been acting as experts for Jennifer McAllister, who's setting up the gardens. So they've been kind of consulting with these farmers about, how to build a rabbit hutch and how do we keep chickens at our school. And so, the farmers have been kind of an amazing resource for the teachers to develop the new Farm to Fork curriculum that's being enacted. And they've just really wholeheartedly sort of become a part of this whole Farm to Fork, West Sacramento, culinary, cafe, everything. They're also starting a CSA box program. $5 of every single box purchased is actually going back to the school district. So it's actually a fundraiser for the school, which is kind of an amazing opportunity for the school to purchase something for a program that maybe they wouldn't have had. So I just want to really applaud them for the amount of energy and collaboration that they're really sort of making with all the teachers and administration. So I'm super happy with it.
So this is an information and discussion item for the board, so I will look to them if we have any comments or questions for you. Board Member Villegas?
I'd just like to say thank you for all of your work, and if you ever want to see your food distributed, it is distributed at the Yolo County Children's Alliance food giveaway every Friday. So it goes right across West Sac from the food bank, so it's pretty cool to see that growing in our community. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Board Member Alcorn?
I was really happy to see that the chickens are range-free chickens. They're not all cooped up in there, so that's great. Yes, they look fantastic. It's all those different colors. Also, I was happy to see the drip irrigation system, because I know that with the water crisis that we're having, the old method was just to flood the fields and let everything run off. It's a waste, so I'm glad that they're exposed to that. And I just had a question. I know some crops require a lot of water, and teaching those lessons about those crops that maybe,
Yeah, there are some like corn, which we choose not to grow.
Okay,
Because of the water intensity, the intensive watering. And it's a sandy site, so it drains really fast, so you do have to
No, that's
choose
great.
high water use crops. You'll use a lot of water, which we don't want to do.
And just out of curiosity, I know I'm always buying flowers, and I know a lot of them come from overseas. Do you have flowers?
We will
that
this
you're-
summer.
It's one
I
thing we
think that's
just
great.
planted was cut flower
Today.
section.
Yeah,
yeah.
'cause we get a lot of them from overseas. It'd be great to have more homegrown. Thank you.
Board Member Kirby Gonzalez?
Your pictures told such a nice story to go along with what you were saying, and it was just really, it was really informative and nice to see all the pictures with the students here, because when I read the description, my questions were, are students getting to participate at all? And clearly they are, which is just really special. And as you said, that's not a requirement, but it's really just a natural kind of organic thing that's happened, and it's nice to see that. And how lucky our staff is to have you for a resource. I teach in a different district, and my students were trying to grow radishes, and I said, I don't know when they're ready. I don't know when they're ready. Who can tell us when these radishes are ready? So they're just really lucky to have you close by. And I'm very glad that you'll be opening on Saturdays, because as working parents, sometimes your hours are hard. So in May, you said 9 to 1 on Saturdays?
Yeah, starting the 14th.
14th.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you. And
I have one more, sorry. Will you participate in the farmer's market? It's right out in front here.
We have a farm stand that we run off the farm. We're deciding whether or not it's done.
Okay.
Still out.
So they have 3 locations. They have 200 chickens in a different place in Woodland. They're also at the cannery in Davis on another 2 acres, and then they're here. So it's a matter of how many man hours do we have to physically. But the Center for Land-Based Learning will be taking over the produce vendor section of the West Sacramento Farmers Market come, May when it starts. And so we will be including a lot of our urban farmers. We have 6 individual businesses that are operating, and a lot of them will be at the farmers market. So.
Perfect.
well, this is so exciting because I'm sure Katie remembers you and I in
board member Leland at that time, we were out there with the shovels and the groundbreaking, and it was sandy. I think a few of us had heels on, and it didn't work too well. But to see that area transformed and used in our community is just great. So thank you both.
Yeah,
We appreciate
we've
it.
actually managed to get several, I don't know how many, 100 cubic yards of organic compost donated from Napa Waste. And so they have all these relationships that they're doing to improve the quality of that land, that they just took it on and managed to really improve the soil quality there just in the few months that they've been there. So
Yeah, if you have time,
Quite a
we're out there
transformation.
Tuesdays and Thursdays with students.
Welcome to
so
come out and-
You'll
you're
probably
welcome to
see
come
me
out
on
and take a look.
Saturdays.
Yeah.
But thank you. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Thanks.
We are to O3, the update on the transition of West Sacramento Early College Preparatory Charter School to a dependent status under Washington Unified School District. Linda Luna, Superintendent.
Farmer Shane is walking out the door, but I guess I was his teacher when he was in 4th grade.
Oh, my gosh.
And we met at the Bright Culinary opening, and he came up to me and reminded me that I was his 4th grade music teacher and taught him trumpet in the kitchen of the cafeteria. So it's kind of nice to see that coming back again, and you just never know what you're going to do, where life is going to take you. And so I just thought that was kind of dear to watch him do that and all that he is doing for 3 different communities. So, okay, going on here, I just wanted to give the board a very, very quick update on where we are with the West Sacramento Early College Prep Charter School. Just a couple things. Currently, the Early College Prep School is having parent meetings, and I attended one of them about a week and a half ago. They're having a difficult time with parents coming out, attending, whether it's open house or just parent meetings. But there were a few parents that came and had some really good questions and really good concerns. And as you can expect, it might be an anxious time because for parents who choose to put their children in a smaller program, what kind of effect does this mean for them? The second thing that we wanted to let you know is that our legal counsel is working on the material revision needed for the petition. And we are looking at a material revision to their original charter, which will then change it to a dependent charter status so that they do not lose their CDS code with the CDE. And also the material revision will include language about the governance, that they will become governed under the Washington Unified School District Board of Trustees. Our timeline to have this happen is the Early College Prep Board is having a meeting on May 18th. And at that time, they will hold a public hearing and encourage as many parents or community members or any just public citizens to make comments to this particular change to their original petition. After that board meeting, our Washington Unified School District Board meeting on May 26th will have a public hearing for public comments to be made regarding this material revision. No action will be taken on May 26th. We will then hold another public hearing to allow any other rounds of public comment to be made prior to the board taking action to accept West Sac Early College Prep Charter School into the school district beginning July 1st as a dependent charter for our school district. So that's a drafted timeline on what we're looking at based on when board meetings are scheduled for both schools. I'm just wondering if the board may have any questions or any suggestions or recommendations as we try to move through and help the community of the early college prep program, and also as we begin to talk to our community here by having it on the board meetings, if you have any recommendations, suggestions, or any questions.
I do have one question. How many students are there currently, Linda?
They are projecting for next year. They're doing enrollment, just like all of us are. Right now, we're talking about whether or not middle school students should remain on that campus next year because the dependent charter will be a dependent charter high school. You know, I don't have the numbers in front of me. I'm not quite sure how many they're projecting in that. But I can send that information to the board for sure.
Thank you. Yeah. Any more comments, questions?
Was there ever discussion about keeping middle school or a way to do that?
Yeah, they have, the board and the staff and the director there has been talking about what will be best for the middle school kids. There are a few options. Right now, there are 13, I think, middle school kids that are projected to return next year. And that's without recruiting any sixth graders. So they have not come on to any of our campuses or had any kind of communication with our school district about kids who might be interested in a smaller program like that. So that being said, we're looking at, first of all, staffing for 13 kids is really difficult because it's middle school and it's single subject. That's just not feasible. But the real question is what is going to be appropriate for the middle school students in this transition? Because it's basically another school change if we chose that option to bring the middle school kids into our district, or do we just let it go through the process of each year weeding it out until it finally is fully a high school program? So the board is still talking about that at early college prep and really seeing where the parents are with that too.
Okay, good. Will you speak to the importance of a CDS code?
Yeah, a CDS code is, every school is assigned a CDS code through the California Department of Education. It's a code that identifies your school. And so by them not closing the school, they will not lose their CDS number. In other words, it's an easy transition in. Every school has their CDS code. The only changes to the actual original petition is the governing part. They come under the governance of Washington Unified School District Board. And then, of course, the employees would be joining our employee or organizations.
So it's different than like the charter number. It's not that. This is a separate
Correct.
piece.
Their
Okay.
charter numbers would no longer exist.
Okay. And then I have one more piece. And has there been any more discussion, or do we have know the possibilities of possibly, I know it's a semantics thing, but looking at magnet versus charter, and it is kind of a wording piece, I understand, but when we're out in the community, I had people just recently actually come up to me and say, we'd really like you to be part, come to some parent-teacher meetings, and that's an independent charter, and the parents didn't understand that, no, you're not really part of our district. So it's just hard piece sometimes to educate, and the term magnet might make that easier. So that's just what I'm wondering.
Yeah, we did have that actual conversation with the board and with our legal counsel. I think what we can say is that the difference of a magnet and the dependent charter is that they would have to close the school because then becoming a magnet program, it would change their CDS code. And so having their school as it is, with changing of the governance, does not change their CDS code. It also protects any kind of redevelopment funds that school brings in for the district for our own facilities use and some other things that go with that redevelopment. And so by closing the school, it would affect that as well.
Okay.
So we're trying to protect kind of a lot of things there.
Thank you for explaining that.
Yeah.
Board Member Villegas,
Can you just talk about it was a unique, when it started, the West Sac Early College
Yes.
Prep. And can you talk about how the uniqueness is still going to stay the same? It's just the governance is different.
Yeah, I think that's a good question because, You know, the way I look at it, being fairly new into the district, is that I think by having them become dependent into our district, I think it's actually going to ramp up the true intent and the true meaning of the original petition, which was to prepare students while in high school for college entry. And by this particular program of a middle college high school program, it's going to truly do that. Kids will, when the program gets established, because next year the program will not be in place, we need to go through training for the teachers and helping our parents to understand the rigor of the program, and it will then be open to other students in Washington Unified School District, that kids will be taking community college courses as part of being in this program. And actually, that was part of some of the parents' concerns that are currently there, because they were worried about that kind of rigor. Well, will they be taking math classes? Will they be taking English? Well, you know, the important thing is to slowly graduate the kids into that college concept. So they don't have to, they won't be taking their core classes in the community college campus in their beginning years of high school. They're still young, they're babies still, they're 14, right, as a ninth grader. So they could take other classes, like perhaps they could take arts classes, they could perhaps take PE classes, they could take something like humanities, or other kinds of sports programs that would count for community college. So it's a way for them to start getting their college credits, saves them money so that parents do not have to pay, you know, those community college tuitions and books. They would be high school students, and it would be free tuition, and the textbooks would be covered under Washington Unified. So it's a win-win for the families. It just is going to take some time to establish it and have everybody really fully ready before we begin that program, thus next year being a year of preparation and transition.
Will UC Davis still be involved?
UC Davis will still continue as a partner, and my request is going to be to ramp up the partnership even more so that when our kids leave high school with a diploma and community college credits, that they are guaranteed some kind of priority to enter into UC Davis as a partner in some manner when they're ready to transfer. I wanted to share some good news, that some statistics that just came out, because we went to go visit the school at San Joaquin Delta College in Stockton. And that's a school that's Lodi Unified School District, and their middle college campus is at Delta. Currently, they have 8 students who are going to graduate with an AA at Delta College with a 4.0 as a Delta College graduate. One of those students of those 8 is only a junior in high school still. So the 7 will graduate with an AA from Delta College with a 4.0. The next evening is Lodi Unified's high school graduation, and they will be graduating the next evening with a high school diploma. So it is possible. It's possible. And even if they don't walk out with an AA, they'll be able to walk out with some college credits that their parents will not have to pay after graduation from high school. So.
Well, and Los Rios has an automatic, they have a program where if you go to Los Rios and you take certain classes, you can automatically supposedly get into Davis too. So hopefully we can tag on that as well.
Yeah.
But great job. Thanks, Linda.
Yeah, Sarah and I sat with a meeting, and you weren't here in the last board meeting, is that right? Yeah, we sat, Sarah and I, Superintendent Luna, Art Pimentel, I forget his first name, but Mr. Levine.
Yeah, Dr. Harold Levine.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and we had good conversation about it. And that, you know, everybody's kind of on board with it. It's kind of something exciting for our district to offer our students.
It's another opportunity for students to have choice, but to stay home, to stay in our district where we're able to offer opportunities. Yeah. You're welcome.
And since they're looking at enrollment, then they're looking at their staff. I know that their staff, they were way overstaffed, and obviously working with the community college means they need even less staff. So is that conversation then?
Actually, they still have to have their core courses by high school teachers.
Yes.
And the kids have to be enrolled, they have to be in Lodi Unified High School by a certain amount of minutes before going into the community college. So it might be a longer day for the kids. But yeah, they still have to have their core subjects by our teachers in Washington Unified. They get the best of both worlds.
I think that's it. Thank you.
Great. I'm up for the next one. I'll just stay.
Okay. How about the update on the strategic planning process for Washington Unified?
Great. So we did enter into a 2.5-day strategic planning process. And it's really difficult to adequately express really what happened in those 2.5 days. I was transformed as a leader. I learned so much about West Sacramento. I learned so much about our district because we had community members present. We had an at-large community member, Mr. Louis Campos, who also serves on our Citizens Oversight Committee, and very respected and established in our community. We had Art Pimentel, who represented the Los Rios School District. We had our county superintendent, Dr. Jesse Ortiz, also present as part of the planning process. We had 2 students from River City High School who will be returning next year, who taught me a great, great deal about just as a mom, but also as an educator. They reminded me about a lot of things. We had really strong teachers, and we had classified staff. We had parents who were both or just a parent. We had administration. Thank you, trustees Kirby Gonzalez, trustee Cruz, and also trustee Pizzotti for being a part of it. It was amazing. So I wanted to show you the drafted product. And pretty amazing that a facilitator came and took all of our hearts and minds and put it all together into a drafted form. That was what was amazing. So we started with our beliefs. Our beliefs are who we are, who we, how we believe, and that of what we want for our children, of what we want for our city of West Sacramento, of what we want for humankind. So here are our belief statements. I don't think that I should probably read it all, but basically the first one is about education, and the second is about community. The third one is about everybody taking ownership and responsibility for the success of Washington Unified School District. The next one is about self-empowerment. We want our kids to be motivated. We want our staff to be motivated, to be very critical and successful leaders. The next one is about uniqueness, that all of us are unique and all of us bring something important to the table. We also have a belief statement about every individual being valued and respected. We had one about all of us being educators, not just teachers and administrators, but our custodians, our paraeducators, our bus drivers. Everybody is an educator. And thus, we work to improve ourselves on a continuous basis. We also talked about ethical choices, that all of us are responsible for that in our community. And lastly, we talked a lot about balance between working hard, because everybody does here. Everybody's, at this point in the year, almost exhausted. But it's important to have a good balance. And that's what Lily taught me, our student at River City. That's what she reminded me about. Those are our belief statements. We're going to continue to come back to it. We'll bring some of the committee members to the board so you can hear directly from them. Our students weren't able to come tonight because they're the top seniors. They had to be there to serve the top seniors this evening, and so they're going to come to another board meeting because they wanted to share with you what their experience was during that process. We did come up with a mission statement, and here it is. The mission of Washington Unified School District, the gateway to extraordinary possibilities, is to challenge and support each student to develop effective critical thinking, problem solving, and communication skills as a lifelong learner, acting in an ethical manner to serve a broader community. Through a community of learners characterized by engaging learning experiences in a safe, positive environment, highly qualified, reflective, and adaptive educators. And that's what we mean by custodians, bus drivers, paraeducators, crossing guards. All of us are educators. We all affect our children. A culture of innovation responsive to student needs and aspirations, and a community providing family involvement, strong partnerships, and school pride, the pride of who we are. That's our mission statement that we'd like the board to chew on a little bit, because that's what the collective came about with. Lots of different drafts going back and forth, and that's what we would like to bring forward to the board. Another part of the plan is identifying some strategic objectives. This is our first objective. Our second objective has to do with applying knowledge. It's not just about receiving knowledge and acquiring it, but actually applying it to real-world applications. And the third one is about finding joy. We talked a lot about that word. Joy, some people may think it's hokey, but what we felt was so important is that joy is from the inside. It's from the inner being. It's not a superficial feeling on the outside of temporary satisfaction, such as going to Disneyland or getting an A on a report card. But it's the inner being of who we are that expresses that joy. Those are our objectives. Our strategies. The first one is about creating an individualized, high-quality educational experience, which addresses the unique needs of the whole child while igniting a passion for learning. That particular strategy, we will have staff now create an action plan on how to achieve that strategy in Washington Unified. Our second one, creating a system of professional practice that incorporates strong collaboration, support, mentorship, development, and training for all educators that is responsive to our changing community and world. We came to the conclusion that change is constant. Change is a condition of life. Therefore, we must evolve with it. Staff will create action plans on how to do this in the educational lens of our children. We will unify our community in culturally sensitive ways to engage all members in the education of our students. We've talked a lot about equity. We've talked about bringing in other academic lenses to further and deepen the value and respect of our cultures and our diversity that we have here in our district. And that's one strategy that staff will be working on action plans on how to achieve that here. We also talked about parameters, and parameters are the way that we're going to start doing our business. Not that we haven't been, but it just means that we're going to really commit to it, and we're going to hold each other accountable to it. Doesn't mean that everybody's going to be perfect on it. We're human. It just helps us to give us guidelines on how we feel is going to be best supportive to get the work done and keep our district healthy. So here are some of our parameters. I'm not going to read them all, but you'll see that they all start with, let me go back. They all start with "we will." And a lot of them, it is about how we will treat one another, how we will engage in working on behalf of our kids. Those are the parameters that the committee agreed upon and came up with that will strengthen the health of our district. So what we're going to do in our next steps is we're going to continue to bring some board updates, because the more we chew on it, the more it becomes a part of us. And what we're going to ask before school dismisses in June, to have the board approve the work so far so that we can be ready to open school with our mission statement, rechange when we do our district website, relook this summer, and as we change it over, have our mission and our brand up there in our classrooms, in our offices, to have it all ready to go so that we all know this is who we are, this is who we're committed to be. So looking out, our action plans will be crafted by staff between August and October, and we will bring a final draft to the board in December. But meanwhile, we'll have lots of updates. We're going to have another committee meeting where our facilitator will come out and give us direction on how to craft the action plans, and we'll invite the board to that meeting so that you can also be part of that. Any questions about our strategic plan? It's pretty exciting.
Any questions or comments? I would like to start over.
I don't know that the 22-member committee is, you'll have to answer to that committee.
We had a great time. I will thank Mr. Reed a lot for Googling a lot of our words. I know we spent a lot of time on, the words were very important that we had these right. Don, he sat and rearranged our sentences for us. Everybody came to the table and brought something. I mean, oh my gosh, what is her name?
Allah.
Allah, I was going to say. Allah brought so much to the meeting that it was just the students to see what their education needs are and what they're actually getting, and just, they weren't quiet, they shared. It was just a great experience. I mean, I'm so glad we did this. I hope others continue to come forward and be part of it. And I just thank everybody Louis was a great part of it.
Very good.
We couldn't have done this alone. It was
No.
just a great, great experience.
No.
So I'm really happy with what they came up with. I will say the word joy, Linda, that was Linda's word, joy, joy. I'm glad that limitless is nowhere on there. And I will tell you one thing that I took from it, and I'm using it daily actually, is life learners. I find we're all life learners, but I hear that in participating in the strategic planning, I find myself thinking I'm life learning every day, even though some people push my buttons. It's a life learning. It's a life learning. So, I think we all learned personal experiences too,
Yes.
and it was a great opportunity, and I was glad to be part of it. So I just share with the board.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And so did we move Q18 to 05? No. Yes, 05. Well, that was 04. We just did 04. So 05 would be to receive the report adoption of instructional materials in Spanish language arts dual immersion program, Elkhorn Village.
Yes, good evening. I would like to introduce Yolanda Saka, the program specialist at Elkhorn Village, and she will walk us through the presentation.
Hi, good evening, board. Thanks for having me. So I want to share with you some information since the last time I was up here with you all. I just want to add that strategic planning was a great experience, and it was great to be there with all of you and see different sides of your personalities as well. So it was great. Thank you. So yeah, I want to thank the Department of Educational Services, also the Department of Education, obviously, right, for adopting the curriculum that I'm going to present to you tonight. But thanks. And the clicker is here. Let's see if I can figure this out. There it is. So some acknowledgments I want to make. The teachers that have piloted this curriculum, Lorena and Angelina Ramirez, who's here tonight, so thank you very much, have been very adaptive and very flexible in trying the curriculum and going to SCOE with us and checking out the material and sitting through trainings on top of piloting math curriculum. So they've been great about providing that feedback to me as well so that I can present it to you. Administration at Elkhorn has been great. Lisa and Shirley, any questions I have, they're ready and available and just very supportive of the process. Krista Koch has been a great asset, I think, to the district and also to the dual immersion process and transitioning and assisting me because I'm at the site and she's at the district level as the EL coordinator. So she has a lot of experience with dual immersion programs in other districts. I know she worked with Davis Unified, and she also worked at a dual immersion school there. So she's been a great connection there as well. Superintendent Luna and the cabinet, thank you all for your support, because if you didn't support it, I wouldn't be here today. So thank you so much. Oh, I went forward. Yeah. Okay, so the state adopted two, I'm going backwards. Sorry about that. Getting used to this. There it is. Okay, so this is the timeline that we've been following. In December, myself, Krista, and the two teachers, kinder and first grade, went to Scoey Library and checked out the curriculum and what the components were and what we were interested in. And at that time, the teachers decided that we were going to pilot both of them. And they agreed that piloting each program for a month would be feasible because the units were 3 weeks long. So that would give them time to implement if they chose to do an assessment or not. In February and in March, we had publisher trainings. So Benchmark Adelante had a one-day training for teachers and myself. And then McGraw-Hill Maravillas came out and did a one-day training as well. So in February, both kinder and first grade teachers piloted Benchmark Adelante. We met and did a debrief using an evaluation rubric to go through the pieces, the components of the program, and see what was effective and what didn't work so well. In April, currently, they just wrapped up their Maravillas pilot as well, and we shared information about how that was going, comparing the two programs throughout the process. So I stand here before asking to present this recommendation to you. And after getting that feedback, the teachers and I decided that McGraw-Hill Maravillas would meet our needs the best way possible. And going through all of the components, they have the digital piece as well that's available to families. They have it in English and Spanish, so for those families that don't speak Spanish, the pieces are already there available in English. The technology piece is great because it's also engaging. When we looked at the two programs, some of them, the language wasn't authentic in Spanish, so that made it difficult for the teachers to execute that lesson. Just the feasibility of the technology as well was easier to maneuver in a class. It could be displayed in a whole group setting or individually, and students can be given accounts to do at home as well. Bless you. The added piece to this is that the Spanish language development is already integrated into the curriculum, and it also has the Wonders ELD development program, which is something that we need support in. So the fact that it already has that ELD piece connected to the curriculum would just be a nice transition, not a transition, but incorporation of the themes. And the teachers don't have to constantly change the lesson. The theme is all-inclusive, and if they're learning it in Spanish, they're also hearing that vocabulary in English to support the learning that's happening in the classroom. So that's what I have for you. Thank you for your time and your consideration.
Is there any comments or questions?
How many students are there in the program?
So as of today, we have, 2 full classes with 42 students.
That's great.
Yeah, it is great. And I have some information. And we've actually, with the help of the kinder and first grade teachers, we assessed 38 of those students with a pre-IPT, their language assessment, because parents were asked to do a home language survey. And so we've identified the students, and we couldn't have asked for anything better. 33% of them are considered English only. 31% of them are considered the native speakers, which means they are fully fluent in Spanish. And then 26% of them are the heritage speakers, which means that their families speak the language, but they don't necessarily speak it themselves. They understand it. And then 9% haven't been assessed yet. So right now the numbers look great.
Do we have any students who speak English as the only language in the house and have actually decided to try and learn?
Yeah, we actually have families who are Russian and Chinese who are coming into the program as well.
That's great.
Mm-hmm. And we have 3 families that are not from our district who decided to bring their kids here. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's great.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you know how many students are, it's not your home school? Are you seeing
Yes.
students that are coming from other areas?
Yeah, I have that for you as
Because
well.
I know we had talked about transportation maybe being hard, and so
Yes.
that was when we wanted to know if it was a
So we
barrier.
have 8 families from Westfield, 4 from Riverbank, 23 of them are from Elkhorn, 2 are from Southport, 3 are from another district, and 3 are from Westmore Oaks.
Okay. All right. So maybe transportation might be something to think about for next year then too, since it sounds like you're still not necessarily getting kids from all over the district.
Yeah.
Okay.
And right now, this is with the understanding that they will bring their children to
Okay.
the site.
I will say your school is one that I always love. So, of course, all of our schools I love walking on. But I definitely have talked this program up to families, and I just appreciate all that all of you do. And it's just a loving, welcoming place you all have made it. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Board Member Villegas, did you have?
Can I do over kindergarten and first grade? No, that's so exciting. I just
join
love
us.
that. You know, when I was in school, we had parents come in and teach us Spanish, and I took 3 years of French in high school, and I know a lot more Spanish because you're teaching it at the right age before they get there. So I'm so excited that Washington Unified is able to offer this, and just congratulations to you. Thank
We
you
are
for all
excited
your hard
too.
work.
Thank you. Thank
It's
you.
awesome.
Oh, yes.
I'm sorry. So what's the ratio of students to teacher?
Whatever the district average is, that's what my understanding is will follow. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. I know you've worked
Thank
hard
you.
on this, all of you, and I know you're excited about it.
I am.
So
I
we're
am.
we're looking forward to seeing the program in action.
I am. Thank you
Thank
so much
you.
for your support. Thank you.
We are to action items, but before I have a motion for the action items, I just want to point out item P4, P5, and P6, because we normally read the resolutions. They're usually quite long, but we do want to recognize May 11th as the California Day of the Teacher. Also, one of our resolutions is to recognize the May 15th as the Classified School Employee Week. And I don't know that since I've been on the board that we've done this, but the resolution, which is 1516-23, actually recognizing May 2nd as the School Principal Day also. So I'm glad to see that on there because I haven't seen it in the past. So, and she left. Lisa! But I'm excited to see that. On the action items, do I have a motion to approve those action items?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second. Well, you're both fighting over. I'll second.
Do I need to pull those resolutions with individual votes?
Yeah, I believe each of them require an individual vote.
Okay. We also have another resolution, which is P1, the approval of Resolution 151625 for the reduction of 2.0 FTE classified employee services. Board Member Alcala, how do you vote? Board Member Villegas?
Aye.
Board Member Kirby Gonzalez?
Aye.
I too vote aye. We have the item P4, approval of resolution 1516-21, recognizing May 11th, 2016 as California Day of the Teacher. Board Member Alcala?
Aye.
Board Member Villegas?
Aye.
Board Member Kirby Gonzalez?
Aye.
I too vote aye. Approval of resolution 1516-22, recognizing May 15th through 19th, 2016 as Classified School Employee Week. Board Member Alcala?
Aye.
Board Member Villegas?
Aye.
Board Member Kirby Gonzalez?
Aye.
I too vote aye. Item P6, approval of resolution 1516-23, recognizing May 2nd as School Principal Day. Board Member Alcala?
Aye.
Board Member Villegas?
Aye.
Board Member Kirby Gonzalez?
Aye.
I too vote aye. On the consent agenda, I'm just confirming, we have tabled Q12 and Q14. And we already moved Q18 and talked about that. Is that correct? Did I miss one?
President Cruz, if perhaps you could go back to action item P2
Okay.
and P3, each of those items require a board action.
Thank you. I thought we did that in the beginning before the resolution. when they were fighting over who.
Oh, no.
P2 is regarding the sunshine of the district's proposal. P3 is regarding the adoption of the instructional materials for mathematics.
Okay, I apologize, I thought we did that, but can I have a motion to approve P2, P3, and for all purposes now, all action items?
So moved.
Oh,
Actually,
whoops.
this is an action item. I had a question on P3.
So do we need to move that to information discussion then?
No, I'm fine voting on it. I just have
Okay.
a question on it.
P3, the adoption of
Mhm.
instructional materials in mathematics for grades TK-12?
Yes. My question is, do the instructional materials for the math include manipulatives?
Yes, they do.
Okay. And then the professional development costs, is that ongoing? What will that look like in terms of the PD when I
Okay.
see that money?
There will be implementation trainings.
Okay.
Teachers will have an option to attend those either first week of summer vacation or the last week of summer vacation. And
Okay.
there will be ongoing implementation training throughout the 16-17 school year, including coaching, modeling, conduction, administration of model lessons, lesson study, things of that nature.
Okay, so the implementation PD includes teacher salary for if they come on one of those days? Or just for the person to give the training?
That is for the people to give the training, because that will be happening during the school day.
Okay, during the school day, okay.
Thank you.
Did I have a motion to approve all action items?
So moved.
Was there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Okay, we'll try it again. Consent agenda. Q12 and Q14 were tabled, and Q18 we moved to information item. And I have 2 public comments. First one, Kimmy Gibson. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, this is actually on item Q5. On or about August 26, 2015, the superintendent signed a contract with Kingsley Bogard to allegedly provide services for, I quote, background investigations at the request of the district for potential future employees of the district. Additional services outside the scope set forth in paragraph 1 above may be provided if, prior to the commencement of such services, district approves in writing the additional services and the amount of compensation to be paid for the service, end quote. Kingsley Bogard's representative commenced interviews of district employees immediately, which was not in the scope of this agreement. Interviews have been continuously conducted without anything in writing approved by the board. Kingsley Bogard representative has made conclusions that adversely affect district employees without legal authorization. Kingsley Bogard representative demanded personal information as well as personnel information in violation of the law. California Education Code Section 17604 authorizes the governing board to delegate authority to the superintendent to enter into contracts whenever the board is invested with the power to contract. A contract made under this delegation is not valid until it is approved and/or ratified by the board. There's no record of such delegation nor ratification of the August 26, 2015 agreement. The item on the April 14th board agenda, which was listed as P4 and described as the alleged agreement, contained an additional page which was not part of the original agreement, which I received as a result of a Public Records Act request. CSEA requested the item to be pulled from the April 14th agenda as there were concerns with it, and the board did agree to the request. Prior to CSEA's request, 2 CSEA officers met with the board president and expressed their concerns, at which time the president was shown documents that were an issue. On tonight's board agenda, the item again is presented as a consent item, Q5, for ratification with no changes to the attachment as it appeared on the April 14th agenda. Rationale for the ratification of the agreement tonight, as well as the April 14th agenda, was that it was simply oversight that the agreement had not been previously brought forward for ratification. I personally have notified the district in writing since I received a copy of the agreement through a Public Records Act request. I have also notified Kingsley Bogard representative 3 times by making a recorded statement at each meeting I have had with him. There is no way that numerous reminders that it would take 8 months to bring this agreement to the board. However, a letter to the district from the Yolo County DA did get it here. It further states that this is, quote, an edited version. One cannot edit an agreement that legally does not exist. You can amend an agreement, but only after it legally exists, and that would require an amended agreement complete with signatures and an exact date of said amendment. The edited version before you tonight is not the original agreement entered into, but an altered version to try and cover the fact that Kingsley Bogard representative had been working outside the scope of the agreement for 8 months. Pursuant to California Education Code Section 17604, and any and all paperwork provided by Kingsley Bogard Rep under the unapproved agreement was not only out of the scope of services listed in the agreement, but is not valid and not enforceable. No justification for any services existed for the Kingsley Bogard firm to have been engaged as to perform necessary legal and investigatory services. I ask this item to be pulled from tonight's agenda and properly handled in the 2 separate steps it will take. I then advise that they end this contract immediately, as the rep from Kingsley Bogard is extremely unprofessional and costing this district a lot of wasted legal fees. Thank you.
Thank you. Don Stoffer.
Hello again. I believe on my slip it said Q6, but actually my request was on Q5, the same article that Ms. Gibson discussed.
Denied. Just kidding.
But I guess on process, is it normally pulled and then discussed, and then, or not pulled and then not discussed? But in any case, following the precedent, I'll just go ahead and ask my questions. I had questions on Q5. And those are what types of investigations would be anticipated, and what other service do you anticipate using this law firm for? Thank you.
Thank you. So with that, I have the consent agenda item. Do I have a motion to approve? The consent agenda? We're not approving any of it? With the
Okay, I make a motion.
modifications of Q12 and Q14 and Q18?
I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are to board governance. R1, the second read and approval of board policy and administrative regulations. 6163.4, student use of technology. Kim Harrison.
I'm meeting Ms. Harrison here because I'm going to bamboozle her before she brings this forward. I wanted to let the board know, I just wanted to give a little bit of context to something we're going to celebrate Mrs. Harrison for. In 1978, several insightful educators took the initiative to come together to educate, innovate, and explore the powerful learning made possible through the formation of CUE, which stands for Computer Using Educators. As a national organization, CUE inspires innovative learners by fostering community, personalizing learning, infusing technology, developing leadership, and advocating educational opportunities for all. This evening, Washington Unified is very proud to celebrate our Director of Technology, Kim Harrison, who was just elected to the National Board of Directors of CUE. So congratulations. And this is for you. Sorry.
Wow. Come to a board meeting, you stay late, you get a certificate. Thank you. It is quite an honor to be part of this organization, and I am looking forward to my 3-year tenure with CUE and being able to represent Washington Unified on that board and represent our students and our teachers as well. So Tonight, I come to you for the second read and approval of the board policy and administrative regulation 6163.4 on the student use of technology. I brought you updates to this policy and administrative regulation at our last board meeting on April 14th, and I had not heard of any requests or feedback in terms of the edits that I provided. And so I wanted to have an opportunity to answer any questions for you tonight, and respectfully ask for your approval of these updates.
Any questions, comments?
No, thanks.
Board Member Kirby Gonzalez?
I just want to thank you for all of your time and for the technology committee meetings too, knowing that, you know, these things have been really thoughtfully discussed and gone through and through a committee of people who are just really committed as well. It feels reassuring here. And then a quick question about Q. I heard that board members could possibly attend as well. And so I was told that there's also administration sometimes. So maybe you can update us at one point through email or something.
Yeah,
if that's
so
an option.
definitely.
But otherwise, I'm supportive. Thank you.
Congratulations, and
Thank
thanks
you.
for representing us. And I'm always excited to see our policies and administrative regulations updated, because they've been a long time coming. So thank you for your attention in doing that. And is there any more questions or comments? Do we need a motion to approve the second read?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And R2 is the Board of Trustees Self-Evaluation, and I left my folder in the back, so I'm run and get it.
It's getting late.
I think it was prior to last board meeting, I emailed everybody the board self-evaluation. And knowing that sometimes we don't receive emails, I brought copies. If I can find it. I also, everybody here, Mr. Pizzotti wasn't here, but Don Remley also forwarded our, if you recall the workshop we attended, the board superintendent, he forwarded us the real answers and our answers. So I have a copy of that also to help us. So what I would like you guys to do, just to get this started on our school board, on our board evaluation, is to look at the board evaluation, actually answer the questions, and if you guys can get it back to me next meeting, and we'll start putting something together, and we'll look at it. Use the board superintendent relationship workshop, and that'll help guide us. If you guys want an electronic copy, just email me. But I took this straight from CSBA. We received the CSBA self-board evaluation kit. So that's really all I have on that. If you guys have any questions or anything, I want to just get the ball rolling. Okay. We have future board agenda items. California Voting Rights Act and Board Trustees areas we will have on our May 11th meeting. Extension of Proposition 30 we'll have on our May 11th meeting. We will have the first read of the Board Policy and Administrative Regulation Series 0000 on May 11th. Is there any more future board agenda items?
I have one, and I filled out the paper, so I'll share. And in terms of timeline, it can be after our curriculum and instruction assistant superintendent is hired. But I would like to have a discussion on homework policies and homework philosophy, and that would be one where I certainly don't want to tie people's hands and educators' hands in the classroom in their decision-making upon what they feel is needed for their students. But this is one that greatly affects our community as well, and we want to have positive interactions with them. And sometimes for some families, the only real connection they have with the school is that homework time at home. And for some, it is, bribing, crying, not a good experience. And so I just want to have a discussion about what homework looks like. Are there any policies in terms of timeline or what the meaningfulness of it? And there's a lot of research that has been coming out lately about this, so I think it ties in well.
And she has a form. Do we have any more future agenda items? I know we forgot it looks like the College and Career Fair at River City High School on May 6th. If I can, before I forget, I'd like to just get an estimate. The superintendent sent us some dates in the future calendar. Who's going to the Yolo County Excellence of Education Awards on Monday?
I am.
I'm attending too, so. And let's see, we have the 34th Annual Awards Dinner, American Society Public Administration, Sycamore Trail. Is that you, Katie?
Yeah.
And Thursday, May 5th, we have Yolo High School Career Fair at 11. Is anyone going to be able to make that? Think about it.
Okay.
And then Friday, May 6th, the career fair at the high school.
I will
I'm going to try to
definitely be
make
there.
that.
Okay.
Norma. I'm just trying to get an idea if there's someday none of us will be there, so maybe we can try to make it. We have May 11th, our board meeting. Are we coming?
Yes.
I believe there's some other open houses too. One is that night, so that makes it hard to get to.
Is
But I
it
think there
on
might
May
be other
11th?
schools. I think Bridgeway Island's at 5:30.
There's two on that
and
day?
there might be others. So just, it would be nice, even if we can't go, just to have those added to our list so that we know.
Okay. On the same line, May 11th?
Yeah.
Okay.
May 11th.
May 12th, the State of City of Dress. I think we're all attending. Tuesday, May 17th, the WUSD Employee Recognition at River City.
I'll be there.
I'll be there too.
Katie?
I'm going to try, I'm not
Okay.
sure.
All right. Friday, May 20th, Mr. Woodcock's retirement celebration. I will probably be there.
I will also. I plan on being there.
What time is that at?
It is from
3:30.
3:30 to 5:30.
Oh, I'm glad
At
you told
Bright-
me I had a
or
different
at-
time.
no,
At
it's at
Pheasant
Club.
Club. Yes, and you,
Okay, I have to change the
$15
time.
contribution to the event. Need to get it to Riverbank if you're going to attend. Let's see, May 25th, River City Band Pop Concert, 6 p.m., Wednesday, 25th.
I'll be there.
I'm not holding you guys to it, I'm just getting an idea, sorry. The following day, Thursday, is our board meeting. Monday, May 30th, nobody will be here, that's a holiday, Memorial Day. June 1st, the graduation, I assume we'll all be, well, this is the Crest Theater, the Yolo High.
I'll be there.
I'll be there,
We're
too.
all gonna go?
I'll be there,
Okay.
all of us.
And our River City High School graduation, we all gonna go?
Yes.
Yep.
What day is that?
June 2nd, Thursday.
got it.
And Friday, June 3rd is West Sac Early College Prep graduation at the Auto Museum.
I can't make that.
That's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 3 days in a row.
That one either.
I'll make them all.
Okay, we'll try. We'll have a few. Okay, I just wanted to bring that all to everybody's attention so we get an idea. If there's more things that we've missed, please let the superintendent know, because we'll try to get there. We're running thin, just like everybody else, the end of the year. With that, we do need to go back into closed session. And so, you guys are all welcome to stay, but it seems like when we come back, nobody's here. But thank you guys. Have a good weekend if we don't see you. Otherwise, we'll see you shortly.
Thank you.